How's everybody doing today? Today's we're going over specifically Windows utility. It has kind of blown up in the past week or so, I'd say. And we have 30 something pull requests to go through. I also want to talk about like project management, specifically when it came to Windows utility, managing a latest and like maybe a pre-release, making a dev branch. So people that like, let's say we're working some on stream and we just still need to do some more testing to it, it would be on the dev branch. And that way we have like a pre-release branch and then a regular just main one. Instead of having different branches per se, we'd have different releases, which would be kind of cool. So project management, pull requests, and then just a bunch of bug fixes in general with WinUtil is kind of what we're looking at today. But should be fun. It should be a really fun one. Also, I put up the pre-start kind of thing just to kind of fill out chat. So then when I do that, a lot of people are always asking, hey, what are we doing today? And I do also have my notes, which we will do Windows toolbox. Windows toolbox today. Let's just add that onto the stream. We are good. Got India in the house, Egypt in the house. Nice, nice. Ah, sweet. Well, it should be fun. Should be fun today. A lot to do. I have been doing a lot more on the Git, just Git in general. Just trying to clean up a lot of my repos, make it just putting a lot more time into it. So I have like one more YouTube video I have to make for a laptop I got. And then once I finish with that, I'll probably be taking a good break from YouTube for at least on the main channel. Now, obviously, the Titus Tech Talk stuff, I'll be taking a week off here, probably at the beginning of July, just because of summer. It's holiday here. So we'll do that and then probably pick up and just start in and try and get all the GitHub repos completely up to date, completely all curated, so I don't have so much like old repos I haven't updated in years. There's a couple of them kind of hanging out on my GitHub, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna just dedicate probably 2 to 3 months cleaning all that up, really thinking about how we're gonna manage all these different projects, and just making sure that's really nice and neat in the just Git in general and just using it. As I've gotten a lot better considerably compared to when I started in 2000, where the 2000 repos, most of them I just need to delete and curate. So should be fun. Oh yeah, in IDE, I kind of bounce around on my IDE. A lot of times I use Vim if it's like a single shot thing, or if there's a bunch of different files, I'll usually pull it into Cursor. Depends if I want to use AI or you know, anything like that, you know, LLMs and those types of things. I'll usually have Cursor up, and it varies depending on the project and where I'm at in the project and what I'm exactly doing. So yeah, a lot of times, more often than not, I am in Cursor though, I would say. Let me update Cursor and restart that. I don't really run them locally just because we have so many bad results from them. But I do reference GPT, obviously, old Jippity. And let's see, what else do we have? Let's close this guy out. And let's see, let's go Control M. What do we have for this? GPT 4.0 is what I've been using for the most part. And I can configure this to, I want to say Meta just released theirs. That's actually pretty good too. And I need to add it into here. I just haven't yet. So, you know, the LLMs is a neat tool, but it's not like a one shot. You know, I've done this ran a ton where I'm just like, hey, AI is cool, but it's most oftentimes mischaracterized, much like when cloud was a thing or blockchain or crypto. There was all these weird, like, yeah, people get caught up in the flavor of the year. And the flavor of the year is just putting AI in everything. Whether or not it's actually using AI or LLMs and all that, you know, probably say 90% of the crap you hear that says AI enhanced is just a marketing ploy. It doesn't really do anything. It's not really even AI. It's just a marketing ploy. much like cloud and blockchain and all those other crap you see on the internet. So don't just take everything at face value, for sure. Yeah, I really wanted to check out like Super Maven and a couple other ones too that have some really good takes on AI and LLMs and utilizing them in a way that is beneficial, that speeds up your workflow, and you just can get more work done if utilized properly. However, new developers sometimes lean too hard on these, and they actually end up causing more work, and they get less done because they're using them. So used responsibly, it can do good things, but used irresponsibly, not so much. Is a camera having a delay? It shouldn't. A lot of people have said that. A lot of times you have to refresh Twitch in that. Although on YouTube, it should be fine. Although sometimes YouTube kind of has like this weird delay going on, and then like check back in 5 minutes and then it's fine. So I don't know if YouTube live streaming has gotten a little worse, or maybe it's my configuration. So yeah. It's always, I'm always trying to do both though. All right, let's get right into it. Like we got we got 37 pull requests. Dude, how do we have almost more pull requests than we have issues? That's a first. It's not Hacktoberfest. Nobody's trying to get a free t-shirt, are they? All right. That's funny. All right, that's kind of impressive to have almost the equal amount of pull requests and issues. I can't say I've ever seen that before. Let's get rocking. So probably let's start with the oldest. I always like to start with the oldest PRs first and then move forward. Some of these I have done. Oh, that's right. I requested changes here. Saw that. Run into hyperlink when clicking. New changes. Okay, we did. It does look like my Let's give this a whirl. Let's check this out from my drift user and see what we can get on this guy. So come into comms. I'm going to try and do it from, every time I do this, it ends up being a disaster. But inevitably, one day, I will be able to do pull requests directly in here without going, oh, it's just so many. So many PRs. Okay, here we go. Let's grab the description and we're going to do checkout. Yeah. 37 pull requests. This is the changes. We're basically adding hyperlinks so you can click on people's links and get directly into their information. So that sounds good. I'm actually going to take out this GUI section. It's a bit redundant. And let's see. All right, let's try and do a compile this time around, and we're going to try and click on it. So probably the easiest way to do this is I like just doing terminal admin. The problem with a lot of window management in Windows is administrator kind of is a different user, so it doesn't honor the window manager and just kind of overwrites it. So anything run as admin kind of sucks. So that's why I always hate Windows management in Microsoft Windows. A lot of them are application editions. I hope so, King Root. I really hope so for my case, because it's gonna be. Did I accept a PR on my PowerShell that got rid of Zoxide? Oh, damn it. I did. All right, well, one second. What happened here? What happened to Zoxide? Okay. I remember someone doing Zoxide, this -cmd-cd. Oh, instead of doing Z, it's CD. That's what that invoke expression did. It changed it from the Z command to CD. Okay, so if we go Z CD WinUtil. Yeah, okay, cool. It works. Never mind. Zoxide didn't get wiped out. We just changed the command from Z to CD. On Saturday night, I did a bunch of PRs on my PowerShell. So let's just go compile WinUtil. Okay. So the big thing here, I want to say when we click on like about, it gave links to WinUtil. It's working. Let's try some of these get in the about section. So if you want to know about like Conti, let's click Conti. Nice. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Perfection. Drift utility, or drift user. Fix that. I like it. Oh, so good. So let's come back into here. What I like to do, let's just discard this compilation. I'm just going to commit that. That's fine. Push. That's probably, yeah, it doesn't really matter. We can fix that in another PR. Let's go back to our regular main. Let's go check out. Let's go back to main. Close that guy and this guy. GitHub pull requests. Description. Ah, dang it. I clicked the checkout again, didn't I? One of these days. One of these days, I am not going to be such a noob. I keep telling myself that. I'll get there. Progress. All right, drift utility. Let's go hyperlinks about section. And it does say that looks good. Perfect. Runs great now. And we're going to squash and merge this into here. Whew, boy. Why do you use all Chromium-based browsers? I'm on Google quite often, and anything that's not Chromium-based just doesn't work as well. Specifically, a lot of things I use Google logins with. And YouTube in general works better on Chromium-based browsers. And that's not like a shot. Like if I could use and get away from like Google sign-ins and a lot of that stuff, I would totally go with Firefox. It's just, again, it's kind of like what I do. It's like my day job. I kind of need that. But I have tried a lot of Firefox because I was like, maybe I can get this to work. And it's just not the same. And Thorium because Titus is a furry. Yeah, there's that too. All right, so rename application force auto HDR. What was this one? Oh, that's strange. What's the difference? The content field here. Well, I'm drawing a blank right now. Oh, so it was actually the content. It wasn't actually pulling up that name. Weird. Okay, yeah, that's a bug. Thanks, drift user. Another good PR by you. I don't need to review that one. That's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, whatever you guys do to get rid of ads. I mean, hey, I get it. I hate ads just as much as the next person. I guess I could be like a Linus and be like, it's piracy. It's piracy. You not watching ads for all these videos I make. How dare you? Oh man, I think he got skewered online for having that take. Although I think that's pretty much still his stance. I don't know. Someone correct me in chat if if that's it. Although y'all might just be watching ads, so you might not have heard that. Remove force install of Winget plus small improvements. Interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. We need to check it. Compiling, start process, invoke run space, script block, install Winget. Now, I'm kind of interested in how this goes. If it's not calling the install Winget subroutine, we got to make sure in ours it is. So let's come back. Let's close out of this, switch back to the main branch. After using Glaze WM for a little bit, I gotta say, I think I'm done. I end up, it's just too jank. Linux has ruined me. It's just too much. Linux has just ruined. I can never use a window manager that's not in Linux. I just can't deal. I can't deal with it. I look at it and I'm like, all right. Oh. But I do want to switch out my taskbar here. Let's go taskbar settings. And what I want to do on the behaviors, we're not going to auto hide. Let's get rid of that. And we're just going to go get rid of Glaze WM. Tried it out for a bit, and inevitably it just does not feel the same. Not even close to DWM and Linux. And I'm like, all right, more often than not, it's causing me more grief. So goodbye. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted, but inevitably this setup feels better to me. I legally dumped my game. Any YouTuber that does emulation I don't know. I've never actually seen anybody dump a game before, and some of that hardware is pretty darn expensive. And the YouTubers saying they dumped the game legally and not showing the equipment they have to dump the game, as a YouTuber, I'm going to tell you right now, anytime I do something hard or I go above and beyond, I make sure to show you that just so I can get some props and a thumbs up. But just saying, oh, I legally dumped it, but I'm not going to show any of that. Well, anyway, here's the gameplay. We all know what happened. You ain't fooling anybody. John, thanks for the Prime. I finally caught your stream again. Sorry, but this issue has been bugging me ever since I bought my Asus laptop. Oh, God, let's see. It's a matter if it's Debian, Arch, or Fedora. The screen on the top starts tearing and the mouse freezes. And it disables the screen brightness. Okay. And using TLP turns off my screen plugged in. Oh, okay. So this is a fun one. This is actually a Linuxy thing. I actually did an article on it because I had this happen to me. Specifically, most laptops are like this. Except maybe like some Linux laptops you buy from like Tuxedo. You got K-Focus, you got System 76, and Star Labs, I think, are really all the Linux manufacturers. If you buy a Linux laptop from those guys, typically it's going to be pretty solid. But if you buy it from anybody else, there's little gotchas in your regular laptop. But anyways, on my website, christitus.com, tearing, let's look that up. Fix tearing in Linux. I did a little article on it. Basically, the gist of it is you need to uninstall this right here. This xserver-xorg video intel. This is causing all those tears and weirdness that you're having. When you uninstall this package, it will break X brightness. So how do you get X brightness to work? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's the next question. There's actually a repo, and I cloned the repo because I just didn't know if it was going to go away or not. And it's called ACPI Lite. This guy right here. It's on my GitHub. And basically what it does, and you just do a sudo make install, just clone the repo, and it changes X backlight to work properly without having the X server Intel driver BS that causes all that tearing. So anyways, let me copy this into chat for you, and away you go. Oh no, that was not the right one. I don't know what that was. All right. Oh, I'm in this one. Crap. Anyways, fix screen tearing -Linux. That's right, I'm in my VM. Yeah, should have done that. Password to what? I don't know. I think it's actually, if we look at what that is, Elon Stream Musk. Let's go. I want to say that was the key to my recent video. Let's make sure that's the case, not my password. That would be embarrassing. Ah, crap. Oh, that's right. I'm not in Linux. I want to say, if we go to videos, if we go to home theater configuration, it's this right here. One, I don't enter my passwords using copy paste because I'm not a fool. But this is actually the video ID because I link it up with my website. So that's what that was. So you don't need to sit there and DOS me. And I didn't dox myself on that one yet. Stay tuned. Keep watching the stream. I'm sure I'll still do it. So yeah, I was like, wait a second. That's the key for, not the key, but the video ID. YouTube video ID is kind of weird. I really hate the fact they use underscores. So whenever I do, like I'm in Vim, changing things around, and I do like a selection of the word, man, it just bugs me that I have to do it like go to the beginning of the word and then select it, tell the quote to put an underscore in. Slight gripe. Okay. I wanted to check. Okay, we have Windows Util, and then I wanted to look at, we're on the main branch. Let's see, install Winget, I want to say it was. Let's see what was the actual full, because yeah, this right here. I want to make sure this function is still called elsewhere in the program. So what we're going to do is find all the spots. So get the latest WinUtil with WinUse, okay. Function install Winget, install Winget. Now that is happening where? at the WPF install stage. So this is already there. It tries to do the install Winget, but doesn't do it by default. And then we should see it one more place right here, which is getting removed by, man, it's such a good PR. I think I'm good with this. I think we're going to just, I've had a lot of good PRs from him and I really like that. So the switch run, if run, start process PowerShell, argument script name. And I want to say that might be case sensitive. Wonder why that's all lowercase there. The rest of it looks pretty good. As far as the WPF run space, script block, config loaded, computer info, config loaded. And we're adding progress preference, silently continue, and then also old progress preference. Okay. Interesting. Imagine someone using a video ID as a password. I mean, it's actually not that bad of a deal. I mean, how often do people use the video IDs? Play chess when I get bored. Well, I got too many PRs to be playing any chess. That's for darn sure. This one, oh, I gotta run it. Let's check it out too. Damn it, these PRs are gonna take forever. All right, let's see. Removes the forced install of Winget, which I do like. Disables unnecessary progress bar on boot up, which normally shown as get computer info is run. The user doesn't care how long it takes because the command runs in a separate run space anyways. Adds a run toggle to the compile script. So when developing and constantly recompiling and testing, it's easier to compile and run in a single command. Ah, that's what the run is doing. Very cool. I like it. I feel like just accepting it. I know. Let me think about this for a second. First, let's run the current compilation. The current release. So we look at our releases. This was the compile. Oh, what was in this one? Oh, all right. I don't even know what I compiled on that one. Let's just delete it. All right. This one, we're gonna do a big release here. This one was just the WinUtil. This one, we're gonna grab a copy link address. We're gonna run this just to make sure we're good to go. And then I'm going to do another one of those. IEX. Yeah, I really want to get through all of these today. This is kind of throwing me off too. Is this Pacific time? I'm a Central time. All right, cool. Yeah, this looks good. It did look like it launched a little faster there as well. And I think with this Meritech PR, we're going to do it even faster. So let's merge it. Approved. Come back in. Squash and merge. Where can I recommend apps to add to WinUtil? Usually in the issues section, there should be something specifically for that, like programs additions list right here would be the best spot to recommend an application. Some people just do PRs, but I'm gonna get really particular about application PRs coming up and probably cull some of the existing apps that are in there that are just kind of like shareware or trial pieces of software that don't necessarily have much function. Those, if there is one, we will cull all those. There's been a couple we've culled over the years, but not too many. I'm definitely getting more strict though, as I don't want it to bloat up to a crazy level for like 2 people in the world to use part of an application that gets added. It needs to be a good application. All right. So that's good. Let's pull this down and I'm just going to do a compile run. Let's try out that new command by Meritech, which is compile. And then I think you just do run. Okay. That seemed to work. It does pick the PowerShell core or the non-core. I forget which the hell you call it. It's PowerShell 5 is basically, I'm going to start just referring to it by its version just because the naming scheme for Microsoft is crazy. I think it's fine. Let me run that again real fast. Yeah, okay. It's pretty clean. Yeah, we don't accept trial apps. I totally 100%. We're not doing that. Am I the only one who prefers Go instead of chess? Probably. Though I think Go is actually more complex than chess. Subtitle editing software. Do you not reuse Resolve? Resolve has really good subtitle edits and generation for that matter. I really like this. think we're looking pretty good. All right. Yeah. Sweet. All right, great. Keep going. I like both those additions. And we're going to come into pull requests again. We'll just discard those changes. Now, looking at this, we already talked about that. Remove www service from manual services tweak. Should not change anything to remove the service from tweak. The default values for the service is manual anyways for most people. This setting never changed anything, but in some cases, as and above, service does get set to automatic by the OEM, which would be overwritten by WinUtil and therefore break functionality for parts of the WW wireless. So this is wireless LAN, I believe. Let's look at this JSON tweak real fast. Yeah, this would break a wireless card, specifically in laptops and things like that. If it's set to manual, actually, I think it auto starts. I don't think it really matters. And if you don't have a wireless card, it's not going to be on anyways. Yeah, I'll go ahead and approve it. The upsides to not including this are probably more beneficial than the downsides, so we're just going to leave that. How do I split up commits into different pull requests? Probably the easiest way is to make your own branch, do your edits there, and then submit that PR, and then create another branch, make edits there, and then submit a PR that way. That's the easiest way to do it, Owen. All right, this is good. Confirm. Hey, we've already gotten through 4 PRs. What else we got? Add Plex Desktop alongside. Who the hell's using Plex Desktop? What? Wait, what? Plex Desktop for Windows is a front end of. Is this a thing? Does you use Plex Desktop? Okay, so it is actually usable. I mean, I have Plex, you know, when you can add push-ups and pull-ups again. Oh my gosh, yeah. People have been asking that, Jennifer. I need to just do like a workout stream or something and just have people donate, and then I can just add it to it as we're going. Just have a running tally so people can use up their points. I'm going to approve this then. All right, Nav, if you use it, it's good enough for me. We'll add it to there. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, legally dump movies on Titus's Plex Media. All right. Well, if you watch a lot of movies on your PC, I guess that would make sense. For me, I don't really watch a movie on my PC. Occasionally, like once in a blue moon, I might pull up like plex.tv and then log in and watch it through the web browser. But I guess if you're watching it like on a daily or even weekly basis, having an actual application dedicated to it would be, I guess, nice. I don't own a TV. Okay, then it makes sense. That totally makes sense now. So you're watching it every day then. 1K points for push-ups, 2K points for pull-ups. I like that idea, Jennifer. We'll definitely add it. Maybe Saturday, let's just do a stream. I'll set up a camera and we'll just say, hey, you guys just dump your points and we'll just do a crap ton of them. All right, let's go here. Oh, the stream volume is a little lower, isn't it? What about now? Is that better? I bet it's a little better. I think I fat fingered all that. Now it's gonna screw up my whole edit, but that's okay. We'll normalize the audio. Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it, poo-poo. Poo-po. Poo-po. Sorry. But yes, thanks for mentioning it. Usually I can look at the waveforms too. And I as soon as you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, the waveforms do look a little bit on the light side. I need to make sure I like it to tap on about 10 dB whenever I speak. And then if I get loud, go really high, it can go really kind of push it there. Sorry for blowing your eardrums out, guys. All right, cool. Well, look at that, Peter. It was meant to be. It looks good though. It looks like a good PR. Yeah, I hit approve, didn't I? Yeah, I did. That's gravy. Now, moving on to the next one. Add Gitify app. Anybody use Gitify? A GitHub notification app on your menu bar. I've been using it lately and it's been useful to me since I no longer need to update my GitHub page and wait for notifications. Get them instantly in the app. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, he submitted it wrong, but yeah. can't discard that commit. Yeah, whenever someone does a bad PR and they submit like WinUtil with it, it sometimes locks the PR where I can't resolve the conflict. You run into this type of thing. I'd have to do a checkout, manually delete Winget just to add an app. I'm good. It would be approved if it was done the right way, but what can you do? Now, this version's not needed, adds bloat. I appreciate that. All right, bro. Okay. Well, I get it. Definitely getting rid of 20 is a good idea. 20 was not like really a major release, so damn it. I really do want to add this one. I would totally approve this request. Oh, well, we do have this option. Okay, good. We'll just squash and merge it. It's fine. I don't have to do code. I do like it though. What happens is the WinUtil.ps1 gets overwritten anyway, so it doesn't matter. As long as I didn't have to do any kind of crazy dependency resolution or something, and I can just squash and merge it right here, it'll be fine. Yeah, Getify does seem interesting. Like I said, I would have accepted that PR if my WinUtil didn't break it for whatever reason. Remove OOS essential tweak. As explained in the linked issue, the time has come to remove OOS checkbox from essential tweaks. The button under advanced remains, but the wording has been changed so it makes more sense than previous. Yeah, this needs to happen. I've been talking about this for quite some time. Yeah, looks great. Oh, finally. Cool. Let's see what the changes look like. During the compile script, right process. Well, shoot. That actually is. Oh, darn it. I don't know. That doesn't look quite right. I really like it though. I really want that to go through. But the change on the compilation script I don't think is needed here because this will overwrite another version. Dang it. Yeah. I'm gonna say request changes. We had some changes to the compile script, and I believe this one isn't up to date with that. Can you update? Can you pull the changes and recommit? All right, that looks good. Request some changes with that one. I do like the tweak though. I do want that to go. I don't want to just close it. Remove wrong log message. The original creator of this tweak seems to have copied the OneDrive tweak to reuse the code, which is totally fair, but forgot to remove all OneDrive references. Also, the undo script didn't make any sense regarding undoing the change, so I placed a simple message telling the user to undo. Okay, let's look at the code. All right, for the tweaks here. Okay, this is pretty simple. This is just, what the hell is this doing? LMS. I think I'm gonna remove this whole tweak. Yeah, I don't really like it. Let's just commit our own. Yeah, it's a good idea in Praxian, but it just was not done very well. Let's go LMS. Yeah, so the Intel system. So they wanted to do a set disabled service tweak for, okay, this makes more sense here. What did this one show? It should just be LMS. Removing driver package. Okay, this is fine. It was the undo that was the problem. So he was just changing this side of things. Yeah, I'm gonna close this PR. I'd like to just make the change manually myself here. Yeah, this is wrong on the undo side of things though. You can't really undo this tweak. Let's read more into this tweak. Let's think about this. Disable Intel which is vPro. vPro is used for like out-of-band access and other things. It's an external port, so you can actually power on PCs, can remote control them, and it can be a security risk. There is no need to run LMS on home machines, and even in enterprise if you're not utilizing these features. Totally agree. There are better solutions. I'm torn. Because it is a security risk, but I actually kind of like vPro specifically using Like if you have a vPro capable machine, there's something called, oh geez, what is it? It's an open source project. It's something central. It's like, dang it. Central vPro. Let's Mesh Central, I think is what it was. Mesh Central. Yeah, so, or Mesh Commander is what it turned into. That's right. Did Intel ever take this down? Because Mesh Commander is pretty awesome. Okay, no. Just looks weird. Okay. Yeah, so Mesh Commander is pretty awesome. If you do want to use vPro in systems and do a lot of remote management, this also does firmware updates, so you can remotely control a bunch of machines. Sometimes they get flagged by antivirus software because it says it's a virus, but it's really just a great tool to, one, update firmware that has vPro capabilities, and then also utilize vPro in an intelligent manner without having to pay licensing fees, because the official method is using real VNC, which requires a licensing fee. And yeah. Oh geez, 1 second. I got the FedEx man coming. Oh, can you shut the garage? All right, sorry about that. FedEx. Whew. All right, anyways, that was just a fun little deal. As far as LMS, the tweak in question, talking about this, I'm looking through, thinking about it. I don't know. I got a toilet. Yeah. You know, when you get older, you get excited about certain things. Some people, electronics. For me, yeah, I wanted a new toilet. And before you ask what kind of toilet, because I know you're on the edge of your seat, it's a Toto Drake toilet. Not like a super high-end toilet, but not like a low-end trash toilet from like Home Depot either. It's like a good middle range toilet, about, you know, $400 or so. And it's about double what you pay at like a Home Depot or Lowe's. But hear me out. Toto Drakes are like known in the plumbing world. Like if you ask a plumber, what's the best toilet? They will say Toto Drake every time. It's an amazing, amazing toilet. So yeah, if you ever have to buy a toilet, Toto Drake's what you want. Somewhat affordable and an amazing toilet. I just hope FedEx didn't break it. That guy was like lugging it up here. I'm like, oh lordy. But I didn't hear any broken porcelain, so fingers crossed. So what makes the toilet so great? Never, ever breaks, and all of the internal workings are very standard, so it's very easy to repair. And then on top of that, you can flush pretty much anything down them. Like, let's say you want to flush a toilet or a plant. You can just throw the plant in there and just flush over and over and over. They just never clog. You can't clog them. Sounds amazing, right? Wow. Let's see. We'll see. We'll see if that actually is the case or not. All right. I think at this point, I'm going to change. Let's change the PR. I'm changing this manually in another commit. Let's go here with this. All right, kill LMS driver packages. I like that. This undo script is not valid. vPro will need to be LMS vPro needs to be re-downloaded from intel.com. I think that would be more descriptive and a little bit better. So this is change, update, LMS, vPro tweak. Let's commit, push. All right, push. That's right. What is the history here? Status, lazy G, vPro update. All right. I don't know what's up with my GitHub desktop giving me such problems, but whatever. Old CLI never fails. Having done that, let's copy this commit into here. And commit, bam. Close with a comment. So now he could see this referencing of this, and you can see kill LMS redownload from Intel. All right, perfect. On to the next, man. Under 30 now. We're flying. Look at me. Look at me. Getting through PRs, not getting sidetracked by chat. That much. A little bit here and there, but not too bad. Ah, the OOSU is now up to... Ah, thanks. Thanks, Martin. All right, let's see. That is relief. Let's go. Bam. Yes, Martin. Okay, cool. I thought your first name was Martin. I was like, because I always mispronounce all your pseudonym here. Okay, here we go. Now we're up to date. We should look better. Just didn't want to overwrite those compile changes. Although, let's refresh. Is there a refresh? It still shows changes here. Why? That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. And that's good. The big thing with this that I'm looking at, yeah, all that looks good. It's just the compile section. Why was this changed? Oh, CSVs are only... Oh, okay. So compiling, adding CFG. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, cool. Now that makes sense to me. For each object of CFG and CFG, that's what's getting added specifically for Oh No Shut Up. Thank you, Martin, for spelling that out for me. Me and my pig brain couldn't, my caveman brain couldn't figure it out for a second there. And I was like, wait a second. Yeah, CFG packages, the only files that are CFG were the Oh No Shut Up pre the tweaks from that. Okay, perfect. Even makes our compile script even cleaner. Love it. Squash and merge. Let's go. One more down. We are flying through. Okay, before we get too far, every couple PRs I grab, I'm pretty sure it's solid, but just in case, I really like to just pull it and check. You just never know. So what we're going to do, compile, and we can even use that new run command, that new fancy compile and run command. If it didn't launch in PowerShell 5 by default, we wouldn't have all those little ugly red messages. Looks like it works pretty good. I don't see any errors. Does launch quite a bit faster, I am noticing. Now, the other thing, this vPro LMS, I almost want to change the location of it. It's not really an essential tweak. I consider this advanced tweak. I think we push it down into advanced tweaks, disable, and it's not really part of the standard set here either. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's change that LMS tweak one more time. Okay. So LMS right here. We're going to push this into the advanced tweaks. Copy. And it's going into this category. Caution and ordering. Let's find a disable notifications. Let's go 26 on the order of the LMS. 26. And we're going to fix that. Discard. And that looks all good. Let's go lazy G and change LMS to advanced. Okay, we're up to date, right? Nothing to push. All right, get push. There we go. Now we're all gravy. And let's just double check. I want to see the compilation happen on the main branch here too. And once that updates, it was updated 45 minutes ago. Once these actions finish, we're going to rerun the WinUtil from the releases. I feel like removing Copilot is essential. Well, right now, so here's the problem with removing some of those. Copilot is being integrated so tightly with Windows, it can completely break Windows. Just as Blue says here. That does count as advanced. So that's the thing. Like when it comes to Edge, Defender, Copilot, I hate all these programs, and I think they're all done fairly bad from Microsoft. But the big thing here is removing them by defaults or by a standard type setting. It's going to break things. And that's what we want to avoid at all costs. I always want to make sure you could run these standard tool set selections on any system in any configuration and not have a problem. That's the big thing, is always having a good running tested toolbox, no matter what. And then you could easily go back. And also having releases like this, we can always rewind in time too. Filling out these release notes are going to be problematic. It's going to take me a minute. That's going to be like an hour just documenting all this. But I do agree. Copilot is just a dumpster fire, but that's the main thing. Now let's go into, I think unit tests look good. The release should be solid. Make sure that's good. Yep, done 1 minute ago. Should have a brand new release for today. Let's go releases. 1 minute ago, perfect. Let's copy this and we're gonna just do a test. Go IRM, IEX. We're gonna look at the last commit we did, which was the, oh, what is this? Additional information shown. Sometimes it does this. PowerShell can get a little finicky sometimes with run spaces. Let's rerun that command. Just relaunch and rerun. There it goes. All right. Now we move that and we have disable. Where'd it go? It's up there. What the hell? It should be down here. Disable notification tray and calendar. What happened here? What did I do? Did I fat finger something? Oh, yeah, I did. That's my bad. Fix order. Oopsies. Let's do a get poll. Make sure we're up to date. Perfect. Now we should be able to order fix. Perfect. Now we're good. Didn't MS walk back recall? I bet they could just delay it a year or so. Yeah, I think they're probably going to be like, this was a terrible idea. The internet completely skewered us for it. Let's try to repackage and rebrand it something else. It's like what they did with SkyDrive, also known as OneDrive, that most people know today. SkyDrive was such a hot mess and such a dumpster fire in the early days, and it deleted people's files. It didn't sync properly. It just had such a bad reputation that they were like, crap. We can't tell people. We're never going to get people to adopt this now. Let's just rename it OneDrive instead. Just do a global replace all Sky One. And that's what they did. And OneDrive was born from the ashes of SkyDrive. And OneDrive, when it first launched, sucked because it was basically just a rebranded SkyDrive. And then they slowly were able to fix it. I'm sure Microsoft Recall will make it in there and they'll call it something completely different. They'll call it like, probably something boring, like historian or something like that. Microsoft historian. You know, they'll make something fancy, and that's what they'll call it. They're going to stay away from the whole recall language. So remember, I wouldn't choose if I was on the marketing team. Yeah, history wizard or something like that is probably something more fitting. Total recall. That's what it should be called. 2 weeks. All right. Perfect. I love it. Keep going. PRs. Stay focused. Gotta get through these PRs. What did anybody ever respond back to this? What did OG say? Yeah, it's good. I think we're gonna just close this guy instead of adding Figma. I hate Figma. I hate Adobe. Adobe can die in a fire. All right. Continuing on. Remove free file sync because of malware warning on Chocolate Repo. Oh, really? It's flagged as a virus. Yeah, I mean, better to err on the side of caution, I suppose. This was just added too, so I don't want to geotan anybody. We will apply. I think that was last month's application edition was that. And considering it's a file sync type program, and I'd prefer to, I mean, honestly, there's so many other file syncs that are really good too. Much more known ones too. So I agree. Better err on the side of caution here. If it turns out to be false, we can always re-add. All right. Moving down. Look at that. We're down to 1 page now. Hot dog. Removes 2 functions that were referenced nowhere, and therefore they are considered added bloat and perfect. Oh, I love these PRs. What are we getting rid of? Get localized. Yes, no. Invoke microwin helper. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Yep. Hello. Oh, was there nothing in this file? Let's look. What was invoke microwin helper? Let's look at that. Functions. Invoke micro-win helper. Let's verify. I'm pretty sure that it is there. Shoot, let me see where these are at. Let's first double check that. And then also test compatibility image. I don't know what that is either. Let's double check this. Yeah. And compatible. Oh, there's a bunch of other stuff in here too. But he's just removing these lines. So that's a junk. Yeah, okay. Junk there. This one, get localized, yes, no. According to take own, localize, yes is, okay. Let's double check this guy. Yeah, two dead functions, never referenced. Delete. Thanks for spotting this. All right, good. Hey, I'm using Arch now, by the way. Thanks for announcing it to the world. The first steps of becoming an Arch user. I expect to see your NeoFetch next. Or actually, Fast Fetch. You didn't miss anything yet, King Root. We've just been working through our PRs, so nothing too crazy. Just some extra bloat, some functions that aren't used, so that cleans that up. We're jamming. Generate panels at runtime reduces file size of WinUtil. Oh, okay, let's see. This PR moves the generation of XAML code to display the panels from the compile script to WinUtil itself to be built at runtime. I purposely moved it from runtime because I didn't want the extra overhead on the person's machine. But let's see. This has a few advantages over the previous solution. The compile WinUtil PS1 files shrunk. The line count is reduced. The amount of duplicate information in the compiled script is reduced, which adds clarity. Smaller file, faster download, faster start. Downsize, I measured the time it takes to build the panels at runtime, which comes out to 250 milliseconds. In my case, this wasn't noticeable though, because PowerShell winamps. This very well could still be faster on a slow internet connection. In my humble opinion, the added time is a trade-off worth taking considering all the pros mentioned above. Yeah, I don't know about that. I worked so hard on this. Moving it specifically out of the compile. Let's look at the main script and see what it looks like. Well, the main issue I see here is these variables, do they get declared? Yeah, they do get declared here. No. Yeah, this is fine. Let me think about this. So yeah, it's all my code and everything's still intact. I originally split out the dynamic generation of all the panels. Yeah, it's a bit like splitting hairs, which is better. I kind of wanted to add that because if you're using it on a slow PC, like a netbook or something like a potato, doing it at runtime is going to be slower, but on normal PCs like my PC, it's going to actually launch faster doing it this method because the read is much faster, and obviously it's able to just jam through the dynamic generation. Torn. I'm torn on this one. Whatever helps the low end is better. Yeah. These days, more I think people run on potatoes and have potato internet. You know, that's actually a good point, Daggers. Yeah, so in this instance, this would definitely skew on the side of, like, if you have fast internet and a fast machine, this would be better. So for me, this is better. It's going to perform better. But if you're running on a potato with fast internet, this would be slower by a good margin because it's going to take longer to spin up on the machine because of the lower compute, and then it's the time savings you can make up for that compute is done on the file size, which is about 150 KB, which almost any modern internet connection can do very, very fast. Because right now the time savings I think was 250 milliseconds is what Martin clocked it at. Yeah. What about potato internet on a fast PC? This would be way ahead. These tweaks would be amazing. If you have potato internet, this would be considerably faster, probably a whole second faster. Yeah, WinUtil is 680 kilobytes in size. Size is not an issue. That's what she said. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. It's a hard one for me to gauge. I do like the reduced full size, but honestly, I never even look at WinUtil anymore. And nobody really should read the full WinUtil. You'd be reading each component, so it doesn't really matter about the clarity. It's pretty much there. Yeah. I think at this point, decision to make official potato machine with fast internet, it would be slower. I spelled decision wrong. I wasn't even close, was I? Decision. Okay, well, geez, I failed English. All right. Terrible. Yeah. Since most of the internet falls into this category, I'm going to close this as it is too close to call. That's a hard one. I do appreciate the pull request, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a little bit much. Remove extra tabs and applications JSON file. All right, what do we got? WPF install. Wait, what do we have? Oh, yeah. I see. This edition wasn't formatted correctly. Thanks, OG. I know, my first denied. Martin, I had one guy, he did like 10 PRs and I finally accepted one. So you're doing really well. You're doing way, way better than the average. I wouldn't worry about it. It was still a good PR though. Like it could have gone either way. Like I said here, I was really just struggling with it. I was like, But at the end of the day, I don't think it really mattered either way. You just add, okay, let's see. Fix, compile, run, always starting as PS5. Okay, let's see what this looks like. PowerShell. Oh, tricky Microsoft. I didn't even know this. You see, you're bestowing knowledge on me. This is a great thing to know, and one that I did not even recognize. Look at this. So let's go PowerShell. Notice PowerShell at the very top here. PowerShell 5, which is the junk PowerShell. Now, watch this. And I just learned this by this PR. This is why I love doing pull requests, because there's always something to glean from other people. So important. That's what's so powerful about a lot of open source, is you can just learn things right off the bat. For whatever reason, PWSH, it didn't just dawn on me just now that PWSH is PowerShell 7 and PowerShell is PowerShell 5. For some odd reason, it didn't click until just this second, which is hilarious because I've been in and out of PowerShell for years. And not until this PR was like, oh crap, look at that. PWSH, that's the good PowerShell, the new one, PowerShell 7, which I got it. How does Microsoft name them? PowerShell 7 is it called Core? I want to say like PowerShell 7's Core. No. What is it? What's the difference? I think PowerShell 7 is called PowerShell Core. And PowerShell 5 is called PowerShell 5 was PowerShell Core. PowerShell 7 is called, what the hell they call PowerShell 7 then? PowerShell 7 maybe? No, it's probably called PowerShell Next or something crazy. All right, we got to ask AI. This is too important not to ask. Let's clear that out. If PowerShell 5 is called Core, what is PowerShell 7 called? PowerShell 5 is not called Core. It is referenced as Windows PowerShell. PowerShell 7 and later versions are referred to as PowerShell Core or simply PowerShell. PowerShell Core is a cross-platform built on .NET Core, whereas PowerShell is built on .NET Framework, which is Windows only. How am I more confused by this definition? So PowerShell 7 is called PowerShell Core, and PowerShell Core is cross-platform built on .NET Core, hence the name PowerShell Core. And PowerShell, regular PowerShell, like PowerShell 5, that's stock on like Windows 10 and Windows 11, is built on .NET framework and is Windows only, where .NET Core is cross-platform. Okay, I had to read it like 3 times. Wow. Okay. That makes more sense to me. Yeah, it takes a little bit on the Microsoft logic. I was like, okay. I don't know what happened to PowerShell 6. PowerShell 6 was like here 1 second and gone the next. Yeah, that's awesome though. What a cool thing to know. Anyways, a little detour there, but a needed one because I really needed clarity around specifically PowerShell 7 being launched with PWSH and PowerShell being launched as PowerShell 5. And PowerShell 5 is built on the .NET framework, which is Windows only, where PWSH is built on .NET Core, which is cross-platform, meaning you can use it on Linux and Mac on top of using it on Windows. Not that anyone's ever going to do that, but it's really good to have all this useless knowledge now, and we are going to approve this fantastic pull request and move on with our lives. All right, cool. I always wanted to just get that. That's what I love about these streams is I can be like, you know what? Let's explore this. Let's figure it out. Let's see if my caveman brain can figure this out. All right, we've done it. We have done it. Perfect. I could make a 3-minute video, but probably someone's already done it better. Windows Terminal, we use both, King Root. It depends on what you specify. You specify the defaults in Windows Terminal. So if you look here, if you go into settings, up here at the top, I can't really see it, but you can specify PowerShell 7, which is just Windows or just PowerShell, and then Windows PowerShell. This is PowerShell 5. You can kind of see the naming now that we've have the definition and why they call each thing the thing. So as much as I made fun of them before, it kind of makes sense now. Windows PowerShell will always be PowerShell 5 because it can only run on Windows because it was built on the .NET framework, and then the PowerShell is cross-platform, therefore it's just named PowerShell because it's built on .NET Core, which can run on multiple platforms such as Linux and Mac. Wow, cool. I mean, not really. It's kind of crazy, but that's kind of funny at the same time. All right, cool. Moving on. Useless information? Well, it's like something that you kind of need to look at. I don't know if I call it useless because if you get those two confused, there's certain functions that exist in PowerShell 7 that don't exist in PowerShell 5. Likewise, there's certain functions in PowerShell 5 that were renamed something different in PowerShell 7. Whew. Vad, thanks so much for joining the Titus Techs over on YouTube. Did you stop using Glaze WM? Yep, Matt, we 86th. Old Glaze WM at the start of the stream. What ends up happening with Glaze WM, and any window manager for that matter, is administrator, things run as administrator get over, basically Glaze WM can't control those because they're run as admin instead of being run as the user. So then they ignore all the Glaze WM rules. So then you have this weird floating window that kind of just does its own thing. And then you have all the tiling that happens in the background. And since anytime I'm in here in Windows, I'm working on Windows Utility, I'm always having an administrator prompt or an administrator window up, and Glaze WM was just kind of getting in the way more than helping me. So sadly for me, in my use case, it doesn't make sense. Although I still love Glaze WM, I still think it's the best window manager for Windows, as long as you don't run administrative type things on the regular like me. Little caveat. Version 7 is even available on Ubuntu Snap Store. Yeah, well, you can use version 7 directly on most Linux installs. So PWSH, boom, look at that. I'm a PowerShell user in Arch. All right, now that I've made all the Arch users in the crowd here throw up in their mouths a bit, we'll go ahead and exit. Whatever, they weren't watching the stream anyways. Owen's gross. If we're being real, it felt gross doing it too, so I'll allow it. Yeah, that's funny. Let's do a git pull. Let's just Compile and run. Ooh, nice and clean. I like it. It feels pretty good. I haven't seen Derp in a while. What's he been up to? One thing I like about GitHub is you can kind of creep on people. He's been working on his dot file. Oh, he might not be contributing too much for Windows utility because he's a dirty Linux user now. He's converted to the dark side and he's not in Windows much anymore. Good for Derp. Good for Derp. Oh, it always puts a smile on my face. He's converted. He's gone to the dark side. Or the light side, depending on how you look at it. Oh, that's so good. Oh, LJ, I missed your bits cheer too. Thanks for the great content. I recently discovered your channel. One question: what is the best setup distro for web development based on your opinion? Oh, web development. Oh gosh. Oh, best Linux setup for web development. Thinking I was about to be like Mac. Because that's all the web developers I know. Every web developer I know uses the Mac. I mean, probably Arch. Just vanilla Arch with some good customization. You really can't go wrong with vanilla Arch. The reason why I'd say Arch is specifically for web development because you want up-to-date packages, like bleeding edge packages. So that's why I always lean towards more of a rolling release, such as Arch, because you're going to just have a better time specifically in the web development space. And if I'm wrong with that, chat, please correct me, but that's my knee-jerk thought process between web development. Web development packages are handled by NPM anyways. All right, thank you. Never mind. Deadass, thank you for calling me out. Okay, never mind. So Debian works the real answer is any Linux distro. Whatever you're comfortable with is probably the best one. Yeah. Because it's all NPM packages. It's all up to date. It's all pulled anyways. It'll be fine, regardless. Debian's not good for development. PHP and others are too old. That was my initial thought, but anything can work, really. Oh, Glaze WM can run and tile admin programs if you run it as admin. Oh, well, I don't know. I kind of like just the standard old Windows. Sorry, I'm going old man mode. Anytime I'm in Windows, I immediately go back in time. So just treat me as a toddler whenever I'm in Windows. I'm cool with that. All right. Well, I like all this. This looks really good. I like so far. Let's keep moving. Fix white space, bottom right of application. Get it off. Really? Is that a thing? Is there white space at the bottom right? Huh. I don't get that. What did he say was the fix for this? Really? So we're adding a scroll visibility rectangle setter property. Okay, scroll viewer, and then fixing a few. I mean, honestly, that's just fixing some tabs there, which is good. I like it. I think that's a pretty solid fix. Not really earth-shattering, but a good little bug. Okay, let's make sure it is not the auto-generated file, though. No, it's an input XAML. That's correct. So he went back and resubmitted it. I have now officially got rid of all my Windows installs. The Arch furries have pulled me in. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, let's approve this one. I dig this. You know, most of these were from Martin, Drift User, and then OGMRK. So almost all these pull requests have been just so good today. Such high quality pull requests. I gotta say, I am lucky to be in their presence. All right, here we go. We got a new PR from Real Moloch. Molocha. Molacy. Real Molacy. What's that referencing? All right, let's keep moving. All right, what do we got? Add pop-up messages for installs. Do we want that? How does this behave if users want to automatically apply the exported Windows util? This will block the execution of the config. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Martin. If so, this would break zero-touch workflow and onboarded config files. It shouldn't affect it, as it was only added to say the installs are done at the end. Taking a look, I have two improvements. Move the line sync process is running equal false in front of the pop-up. The install started in the run space, so this would block execution until the button is pressed. This doesn't become immediately clear, but the program installed or started last after the imported config. Move the console output in front of the pop-up as well, also relevant to this. Yeah. How long ago is this? 4 days ago? He's probably not going to come back for it. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess the feedback's kind of nice. I kind of like Martin's ideas here for the console front of the pop-up. Yeah, I mean, honestly, changing like the focus to the console output would almost be a better solution, I feel like. I also dislike pop-ups. I don't like, I understand the problem, and I want a better solution here. What if change focus of the window after it's done? So I probably would actually, let's just close all these. Probably, let's think about this for a second. Would audio sound that be muted be a better solution? Nah, audio's a lot of people, especially in the server world, it's not going to have any audio. I would much rather more of a visual reference, but something that's not so intrusive as of a pop-up where you have to hit the OK button. Wouldn't auto switching windows be even more annoying than a pop-up? Man, I know. Yeah, something to think about. Yeah, I don't know how to recommit after changes to this PR. All right, we'll just make a new PR. Well, I think you can move it to draft form, then bring it back. I'm not 100% on that, though. I'm not really that familiar with a lot of pull requests, as I haven't contributed to very many other projects outside of the ones I already own. And when you're doing it on your own, typically you're just direct committing and pulling and pushing without actually doing a PR, unless you're merging branches or rebasing. Yeah, you just push it to the branch. Yeah. As far as the PR, I don't think a pop-up is a great solution, and I'm struggling to find what would be. The only thing I can think of is as it works through almost like a visual reference directly on, and that, I mean, I'm just spitballing here. Let's just launch this real fast. Yeah, so something like directly on here. So when you have, like, let's say, let's grab all the stuff I have installed on the system. So this is what I have directly on the system. So as it installs them, possibly uncheck the box, or have, man, if I could have like a little progress bar right here that would do a count of all the systems that are, all the programs that are selected, and then it just sits here and run through it at the user interface would be the most ideal thing. Yeah, that's like there's quite a bit of development that would go into that. Anywho, I think the best course from here is something that changes the GUI application directly that the user is staring at. I think that's probably the best case with this type of PR. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. Hard solution issue to tackle. Was this the same thing? Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's just a double PR. 19. Nice. Delete unused logs folder. Looks pretty simple. Probably straightforward. Yeah. Very, very straightforward of a PR. Just nice little cleanup. Squash and merge. Yeah, a progress bar would be the right solution for this problem. I agree with that. It's hard to do. A lot of people don't realize, though, especially like from programming standpoints, this is kind of like a weird hybrid program where everything's being built on the fly through a PowerShell script. A lot of people contact me and going, hey, I installed your script. How do I uninstall it? Or does your script run in the background? And I'm like, it's a program. It's not really like a full-blown program you install on your system. At the end of the day, it's just a PS1 script. It's one file, less than 1 meg, and it's a PS1 script that's run through PowerShell. So it builds all this in live time. It uses run spaces, which is just a fancy way of saying it's able to utilize multiple threads, so you can actually have some kind of functionality with the GUI as it's doing things without it locking up all the time. It still locks up sometimes, though. I'm just you know, there's only so much you can do with run spaces and PowerShell. We're really pushing the envelope here. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a script. And then as soon as you hit the X button, the script stops running and then everything goes poof. So that's the thing most people miss about the toolbox, is it's not really even a program. That's kind of the wild thing. And I know some people are like, well, don't you sell the program? I'm like, well, you don't need to buy that, first off. But if you do, I appreciate it, because it does help spend more time on the program, because I don't have to make tons of YouTube videos to try and make AdSense to make more YouTube videos. That takes away from time from the toolbox. So more people that donate, the more time I spend on it. But at the end of the day, that executable right now is just a wrapper for PowerShell that runs the script for you. A badge in the taskbar that counts the task as it counts down. Oh, I got you. That's cool. Yeah, Matt, that might work. Yeah, I kind of hate disclaimers. I would prefer to kind of stay away from a lot of that stuff if we can. Isn't that more of a donation thing? Yeah, it adds a little bit of functionality by having executable. But then again, the executable a lot of times gets flagged by antivirus, so you have to exclude the executable. So I don't know how much better that is. It just depends. You say this every stream. I know. And yet, every day, my inbox is full of people asking. That's why I'm always like, hey, I want to make sure. Anywho. I really appreciate everybody just contributing. I think it's neat. Correct. Yeah, in Normie talk, it's a web portable program. It doesn't install itself. It stays in your files, or doesn't install itself in your files in any way. Yeah, technically you're not even downloading it. So what it's doing is it's grabbing all the code directly from github.com. It's running that code. It doesn't even write out a temporary file. It's just doing an IRM to grab all the code. It basically puts it in there and runs the script externally. So it doesn't even download a file. I think the only time, and we just did a PR from Martin today, and that PR was the config files that were downloaded in temp no longer get downloaded, and we're no longer downloading O&O shut up by defaults. It's omitted now. Those were the two things that were getting downloaded, and those were executable programs with configuration. So kind of fun. All right, continuing. Fixes edge removal. What do we got here? So our current edge removal was, we're doing an IWR, grabbing the edge removal.bat, outputting that to the temporary file, edge removal.bat, and then starting the process. Yeah, that's actually probably a better method. Yeah. I would still like to leave the document showing that I grabbed the source for edge removal directly from Avio, the developer. I do like to kind of quote that. Oh, cool. Well, it's good. We're going over your PRs right now. I like this PR. I think this is a better method than using curl. If you're unfamiliar with curl, it's obviously a Linux program, and the developer really, really hates Windows. And the reason being is because of antiviruses in Windows always reflagging curl.exe as a virus. And he has gone on so many rants. He's made like a massive blog post directly about how curl.exe gets flagged as viruses. And he's like, F you Windows users. I am not a virus. This is ridiculous. And then people are like hating on him on Twitter, you know, sending him stuff going, hey, why are you trying to install a virus on people's computer? And then he's like, I am not. Oh my God. I'm going to just, Anyways, it's pretty fun. Let's just edit this just to add this one line back in. Cancel. Oops, cancel. Let's go back. Rewind. Let's just grab this guy. Copy it. Go to line 2351. And we'll go edit 2351. We're gonna go for a little bit, aren't we? Got a few tweaks I'm doing. 2351. We have this guy. So we're just gonna tab over. Bloop. And commit those changes. Add credit for edge removal. I like to reference any open source projects I use. I mean, heck, if someone steals my code, I'd prefer them credit me. I mean, you don't have to, though. Did I just wipe out the quote? Oh, damn it, I did. I'm such a goob. Did I? Yes. Yes, I did. Funny. All right. Now we can commit those changes. Okay. So we have that. We have these identity lines. That's removed. And dang it. We are also missing the closing one too. Yep. Got to include the credit. I agree. Don't be that guy. 2351. Yeah, I did miss that too. All right. So we got the invoke scripts. That should fix all of that. I like it. I feel like, it doesn't look quite right to me. Something's off. What is it? I don't think these need to be quoted. I think honestly, should look like this. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Now we should be good. Yeah, I was sitting here going, nah, that doesn't look quite right. Kang, thanks for the prime, man. Why didn't you just credit the description of the tweak? Oh, that's true. Actually, adding the hyperlink back to the GitHub project would be the real Chad move. Let's do that. Also, comma's not needed. All right, that looks better to me. Let's test this. Let's make sure. Let's test this. This one I will check out and we're gonna test. Because I was like, nah. Because I think I still have Edge installed on this machine anyways. Comma is cooler than true. True. In most instances, you'd be right. Environment :temp versus environment :temp. I don't think there's really much of a difference there, XY. Let's check it out. I say that, but let's double check. Let's just do PowerShell and let's echo environment temp, echo environment temp, echo environment temp. So the answer here is Windows don't care. Windows is like, caps, what are those? What's the character? Uppercase, lowercase, we don't care. Does it say ENV? Good enough for us. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Having a consistency is an important point. Oh, yeah, Kang. Let's look. I think we can do even better than that. Let's go. I think we got... hell with it. Let's just commit this. Approve. It's good enough. And squash and merge. And now let's pull those changes. Let's make our changes here. All right. Yeah. All right. We got those. We'll pull these. Yeah. Now it should be good. WinUtil. Yeah. If you run Windows utility too many times in the same prompt, you get this crash sometimes. Which, yeah, you know. All right. WinUtil. Okay, here we go. So let's remove Edge. Run tweaks. Now on this removal, I want to say this does remove WebView too, does it? Nah, I might have taken that out actually. I think I downloaded the package and made a slight tweak because we're just removing Edge, which is fine. All right, great. Search for Edge, it is not removed. Well, it's kind of removed. It doesn't launch anymore. I consider that a win. It's kind of removed, but yeah, there's some reminiscences left over. Let's see what the latest update is on the actual source project. So let's go GitHub. Avio Fox, I think it is. No, let's go. Oh, no, I think it was under Fox. So he puts it in here, edge removal, .bat. No, it's still the same old script. Same one I'm using, actually. Let's run that raw file though. All right, let's all right. Let's just do, okay. We're just doing an IWR, grabbing that. And if we do edge removal.bat, run the script again whenever you need to reinstall. Okay, not found. I'd like to see Edge burn when it's uninstalled. Major, thanks for the prime. Why uninstall Edge? I mean, technically you really shouldn't because it's kind of baked into Windows. However, some people want a choice for their browser. And if you're not using Edge, why have it installed? You looked at Sophia app. I remember the Sophia script from a while back, Raj. So then if we go Edge, yeah, still there. Still there, it lives still. Oh, man. Yeah, see, this one removed Edge View. Yeah, unfortunate. So he actually removed credit for his own script. Also remove web view. Also remove widgets. Remove X social. Yeah, so this is a little bit more. Yeah, I tried to modify the script for PowerShell. It's a little bit tricky to do. I'm going to discard these changes though. I like the way I did it. This one's a little too destructive. So if we go Edge, I think I've slightly modified the I didn't change anything, but I believe. Let's go. I want to say dash Edge or web view should be fine. I had an option to install Arch and NixOS. Oh man. All right, let's go web view. The big thing with Edge removal is the removal of web view would be problematic. So let's see if we can reinstall it. Oh, I don't think that did it for us. All right, let's see if we can reinstall Edge view. Install web view. You might be thinking, what the hell's WebView 2? There's some actual games. I think like Forza needs it. And then you also need it for, oh geez, what else was it? Visual Studio Community Edition you need it for. There's a couple other Microsoft pieces of software that require Edge View 2. So let's try to reinstall Edge View 2 real fast. I remember there was a block specifically for it, but if you do run into this problem, you can download and reinstall it. Yeah, I removed all interaction with the script. That's why we're doing it this way. I just couldn't remember if you could just download and reinstall it this way and it would work just fine, or if you needed to rerun the script. Oh, Phoenix. And I want to say I changed the script a little bit to make sure it doesn't delete Edge View 2. Thanks for the prime, CAD. All right, so we got that. I think we have WebView 2 now. Let's verify from our AppWiz. Oops, wrong. Let's go AppWiz CPL. And we should see WebView 2 runtime. Okay, good. Yeah, we got our WebView 2 runtime in there. Just fine and dandy. Yeah. I changed the variable, also remove web. Yeah, so my modified script's going to be fine still. Just doesn't quite remove Edge all the way. I mean, it gets most of it out, but dude, we'd be sitting here playing whack-a-mole every single week trying to remove all the remnants of Edge throughout Microsoft Windows. Real talk, like, I don't know how much longer Edge removal is going to be possible. If you're a Windows user, you need to start to get comfortable with the fact Microsoft's going to put stuff in that it's going to be extremely hard and not very advantageous to remove. Edge will be one of those things. It's just a matter of time before they've just added so much crap in there. It's just too much of a headache to remove. We'll always be able to remove it, but the thing is, it will start breaking things. They are really, really pushing Edge and integrating it so tightly with the operating system that, you know, I'm sure they're going to lose their case in the EU, but to them, even if it's only a couple $100 million, they're going to be like, pay them. It's fine. When you have over $1 trillion in the bank and you're best buds with pretty much all the higher ups, it's all just a dog and pony show. And if you don't want Edge, you really probably need to start looking at other operating systems. Just my 2 cents on it. I really hate to say that, and I will continue to try and modify it. I'm not saying I'm giving up. I'm just saying it's a problem, and it's just gotten a bigger problem. It's cost of doing business for sure. It's kind of wild. So the thing that kind of blows my mind and why I'm a little cynical here, guys, is I remember the browser wars from the 90s. You know, I was graduating and going to college, and I remember all that. I remember when they killed Netscape. I remember them getting sued and losing, you know, because they had at the time Internet Explorer. No, I didn't say it wrong. And ActiveX and just ridiculous setups. And I think they were trying to muscle out like Java, or they forced Java to make a Windows only version. There's a whole bunch of shenanigans with that. Don't get me started with them killing WordPerfect and the reason why Microsoft Office has a domination in the whole world right now. Like, people don't realize how ruthless Bill Gates is and how he was just nasty in the night. I mean, honestly, he still is, but he hides it better now. It's just, it was crazy. It was crazy what all went down in the 90s and why everyone uses Windows today. Just to see the browser wars alone, but then you take into all the other things that happen. I mean, it's wild that they are as big as they are, and they were never really punished. It's just, whew, yeah. My dad got mad at me when I was a child because I installed Chrome on our laptop. He was okay using IE. That's wild. Yeah. Remember that Simpsons episode? That was predictive. Which one? You gotta be specified. The Simpsons have had so many predictions come through now. It's almost like we need to go back. It's like Nostradamus is a writer at The Simpsons. Yeah. Gates and Epstein and all that. Yeah, that was after the fact. That was like the 2010s. That was after he left Microsoft. So yeah, like all I care about is his Microsoft years. It was wild the damage he did there. Anyways, sorry for that rant. Let's keep moving on. Edge removal. I think that's good. Did this fix it? I forgot to. I think I forgot to. Let's pull those changes. Git pull, WinUtil, tweaks, and I just want to make sure the edge tweak ran. It does. Okay, great, cool. So that's good. I did want to add credit to Ioneo. Oh, oops. Explorer. Give me some Explorer back. All right, cool. I stopped the script right as it killed Explorer. Oops. Let's go into tweaks, and we're going to come down into edge removal. Edge. Okay, here we go. Credit. IO. Iveo. I don't want to say his name wrong. Oh, well, it's right below me, Chris. What's happening there? What is happening with my keyboard? Come on. Okay, come on. Am I having like an LTT rat issue here? Someone's just watching this stream. I finally got him. All right. All right. No, it was it was a PCI pass-through issue. All right, sudo command coming to 24H2. I really like gsudo. Like I'm actually on 24H2 on this system against my better judgment, just so I can have problems. So we're actually on 24H2. We already have the sudo command. You have to enable it. It's not by default. And I honestly like gsudo even better. I think it's better. All right. So we gave credit in the description box of remove edge. I kind of want to do that. So that is a pretty substantial fix. So we have that done. What else we got? Moving on. 18. Add kickad. What is this? Open source EDA tool. What makes gsudo better, other than it not being Microsoft, of course? That's a great question, Phoenix. The answer to that is it actually works all the time for everything, where sudo is like jank. You remember when Winget first got installed? It was like sucked, and then finally it got good after like a couple of years of it baking. That's where sudo is. Sudo doesn't work for crap in the terminal. A lot of times it just won't elevate or it has problems, where gsudo just works every time. So I went in and just used gsudo for everything. KiCad. Oh, it's a CAD program. Gotcha. Alrighty. Where's this put? It is under Pro Tools, electrical design, and is used by professionals. Oh, okay. Oh. Especially designs with PCB. Interesting. Okay. It's kind of obscure though. I mean, the PR is good. I don't know if I want to add something that obscured. Man, this is another one where I'm like, I kind of go back and forth. Because I don't want to bloat up the programs with like really obscure stuff that like 1 in 1,000 people will use. This is kind of one of those programs. Do we feel like more than 1 in 1,000 people would install it? The app is full of that, Chris. Let's be real. True. But that's like walking into a hoarder's house, eating like a McDonald's sandwich and just throwing the wrapper in the pile and going, hey, there's already a bunch of trash here. Let me just add to it. I don't want that. You know, maybe that was not a great analogy. I'm not the best with analogies. Let's be real. Yeah, are you making a Winget front end or a Windows utility? Yeah, I think it's just a bit too obscure. Ah, man. Well, I'll allow it for now, but maybe I'll go through and kind of clean it up after the fact. It's not a bad program. It's FOSS, so I'm okay with it. Fix, close old workflow. Remove unnecessary permissions. Update, close old issues. To fix it, well, I've had to split it into 2 periods of time of 2 weeks. 1 for inactivity. Marks issue stale. 1 for inactivity. Oh, I like that. Set up a free GitHub organization. Create roles in the repo. Actively frequent maintainers and moderate issues and discussions. I like that. If I'm correct, Chris Titus Tech could still be the only one who's able to merge PRs, but the rest of the repo could be managed in a way better. That's a good idea. That's a really good suggestion. Yeah, this is actually enterprise. I don't actually pay for GitHub. So if I was part of a business organization with enterprise, I believe you can do these types of. Maybe I can do organization. I don't know. Huh. Anywho, it's interesting. The GitHub organization, there's definitely better ways of doing it, probably. Honestly, would like to control it. I could probably granularly control that and be like, hey, if author equals like Martin or OG or somebody like that, go ahead and allow them to make changes to issue. Or I could have them actually issue a command directly to GitHub, and then the action would kill the process or that issue for them. That'd be kind of cool. Use GitHub Pro. I don't know what GitHub Pro. Check the first PR. Oh, what do we got in the first PR? Oh, made one that works. All right, what do we got, Steven? What do we got? Take ownership, kill shortcut. Yep. Okay. All right, getting rid of Edge update, Edge core. Just getting rid of the files with ownership. It's not bad. Scheduled tasks. The only thing I could think of is probably like the redirect. So technically, if you do the Aveo thing, I think if you go like christitus.com, you click it, does it redirect? Oh no, it doesn't redirect. Well, all right though. Daggers, yeah. You got to remember with GitHub, I don't pay any money for it, and I use it mostly for the contributors. There's so many people, so many developers on GitHub. That's why I like it. And frankly, the interface is really good. Microsoft hadn't screwed it up yet. But when they inevitably do, we'll move. You'll definitely move. I'm totally up for that. But it's not like they're just going to go in and like nuke the repo overnight. Even if they did do that, it might be down for half a day before I realize it, because everyone and their dog would notify me. So probably not even half a day. Unless it happened while I was sleeping, it'd be like 8 hours. And then I'd wake up and be like, oh, that sucks. They deleted the GitHub repo. Oh, well. All right, let me walk over to my computer where I've had it pulled and synced forever. And we're just going to push it to another Git. Whether it's GitLab, whether it's Git or Bitbucket, or what is it? Code. Oh, what's the other one? Code something. It's kind of cool. But yeah, there's a bunch of ways to fix that. I don't know about this one. It's a little bit more complex than just taking ownership, deleting the files, removing the services and the registry entries. It's close. There's a little bit more going on here. I almost feel like looking back through, I started something a while back. And I really don't like doing this in CMD. Every edge removal thing is done it in CMD. So I started coding this out a while back. By a while back, I mean a year ago. And this basically is converting and removing it via this method, which isn't bad. I kind of like this way of going about doing it through PowerShell instead of CMD. However, I don't think I perfected it. I never did merge it. I just didn't have the time. Anywho, all right, getting sidetracked. Let's go through a couple more PRs while I'm thinking of it. GeForce Experience. I kind of hate GeForce Experience. It's like a double because it's KiCad and GeForce Experience at the same time. Yeah. OG's trying to explain it too. Okay. I think he's having a problem with the merge here. NV clean install is a better way than GeForce Experience. GeForce Experience is needed if you are doing, what is that streaming service they have? Nobody uses Shadowplay. That thing sucks. Or Shadow Record or whatever their jank thing is. And they install a bunch of running processes too using GeForce Experience. But there is something in there. I think some people do the auto optimization of games. I always kind of thought that sucked. And they don't really keep up with it. Anytime I've done it, I'm like, I think I can do a better job. But I understand some people, it does help them. So maybe the auto optimization of games. Yeah, NVIDIA Broadcast, that's what it is. Thank you, Poe. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, there's some very select instances where GeForce Experience is needed. But I'm going to go ahead and close this. Not really recommended. 95, probably like 99% of people probably don't need GeForce Experience. Oh yeah. We were looking at the issues. Let's see what OG's workflow fixes were. I was kind of interested in this. So he's adding days before issue stale, days before issue clean, exempt, keep issue open. I liked all that. And then days before PR stale, -1. Days before VR close, -1. I don't think you needed to add those because the PRs shouldn't have been stale or auto close. Okay. I think that's fine. Let's give it a whirl. I mean, I don't see any issues there. Issues right. Pull request none, contents none. It does actually look at the pull request now. I don't know why this was removed, but we're going to leave that as B. Huh. So you've written this because the workflow doesn't have any ability to close inactive PRs. After a set period of time is just, doesn't make any sense to me. At least in the context, the WinUtil repo plus workflow is designed to close old issues as the files adjust. Yeah, I kind of want to change this PR a little bit. I mean, I liked this. Let's just edit. Let's look at the file. Edit file or view file? Let's just view file. Okay. Issues right. I need sleep if PRs are interesting. Yeah, you can always glean new things from, like this PR. I always had the days before issue close at 14. And what this does is it actually puts the issue as stale after 7 days of not seeing a comment. And then it closes it after another 7 days. So that's kind of cool. Days before PR stale, -1. Days before PR close. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm always really, really hesitant on the PRs because they're so easy to break. Just a space out of the way on a PR like that. But OG is usually really good. Just, I don't know. I'm real iffy on that. Although close. So right now, permissions none on pull requests, contents none. So it doesn't give any permissions to pull requests. I feel like just taking part of this PR, specifically the days before stale and close, and then just changing that section of it. I feel like that's probably the move here because this is actually opening up write issues directly on there, on the workflow, and at least from how I'm reading it. So, yeah. Let's go edit, and we're going to change this. I can't change this for some odd reason. Let's try to edit it directly in here then. We're going to go into our Git pull requests. We're going to come down, come into description, specifically grab this file. Okay. So I like this. This part, I think, honestly, it should look, let's check it out. Kind of want to just take these, copy, and then I want to bring them over into this pull request. Ooh, it said I have local ones. I never did commit this. That's what's up. Get status. Lazy G, and this is video credit. I would probably need a pull first. Get push. Should be up to date now. All right, now we're looking good. All right, now let's check out this. All right, so now we're gonna copy this, say no to there. I like this new documentation and splitting it between stale and close. Looks good. Looks good. All right, resolve. And then never mark PRs and close stale. I don't think these lines are needed. I'm gonna leave them as is though. So I really just want to make sure they don't have write access up here. Is having pull under the permissions, we have pull request set as none and contents none. Oh, yeah, sorry. It's blocking it, isn't it? I thought I had transparent chat on at one time. I think it messed up on the latest update. Let's go. Oh, 1 second. Still didn't. All right, well, I'll have to do some research on that. I'll just know that, hey, for this one, this upper right corner, I won't do any work on. For the next stream, we'll do that. I like this, though. I like this PR a lot. I think that's a good methodology. Let's do a commit here. And did I change that or not? Okay, I did. Let's commit and push. Yeah, I can't close and git push. Let's do a git push over here. So we beat git push. Does not match them to push the upstream branch to the remote. We should be able to do that. Hell. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart. I think I'm starting to fall behind. Usually after about 3 hours, my brain starts to go. That's why all my streams usually between 2 and 3 hours, and we're definitely hitting that point. Streamlabs is a bloated mess. Yeah, Streamlabs. I don't know why anybody uses Streamlabs. I think OBS is really what everyone should be using. Yeah, the problem is the background is a black, and I need that background to be something more unique, like a green or something that I can easily change, and then make that, and then alpha it out, and just pick it and be like, all right, that's good. Yeah, darn it. Oh well. I think I'm gonna call it right here. How many? We got through about half the PRs. Yeah. Now, there is definitely quite a bit going on here. Oh man, I still wanted to do that. There's some really good ones in here. There was just a lot more actual substance in a lot of these PRs. It wasn't just like, add my app, add my app. We only got like a couple really application additions this time around. I was kind of actually secretly hoping that most of them would be applications and it'd be like 5 lines changed. However, I'd say at least 10 of these was actually, oh crap, I need to check this out. All right, let me check it out. Let me run the tests on it. And then it was like so much. So I think I'm gonna have to stream again and try and knock out the rest. So Maybe I'll do one later tonight and try and get this done and get these all caught up. I want to finish it before midnight tonight. So I've got about 8 hours. The reason why midnight's my cutoff is because of the releases. Yeah, next stream, stacking PRs. Yeah, so many PRs. So many PRs. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Maybe another late night stream. I'm going to see, maybe pop back in about 3 hours. With that, have a great one. See you all in the next stream. If not, I will see you on Thursday. Peace.